Hello everyone and welcome back to Decoders. I am Type Rishi and in this video I am going to show you some basic stuff about Codilla. Codilla is a website where you can make your own Android apps using drag and drop designing interface and blocks coding. So let's start. To use Codilla, you have to open up your browser and type codilla.io. When you go onto this website, click on Create Apps. You will be redirected to this site named as auth.codilla.io. Here, you have to create an account using the sign up process. Sign in if you already have an account. I have an account synced with my Google account, so I will sign in using Google. You can also sign in using GitHub and Twitter. Okay, so now my account is signed in. When you sign on the first time on Codilla, you will see a screen like this. Just click on Let's Go. Now we have to create a project. What is a project? Project means basically an app which you will code and design. To make a project, click on Create Project and write your project name. I will name it as Introduction. Click Next. Then select the theme you want. You can choose default, light or dark. I will choose dark. Then you can change the primary color dark and accent color. I'll keep it as it is. Click on Finish and let the things load. When the loading will be completed, you will see a screen like this. So this is the default interface of Codilla. Now I will briefly explain all of this. So let's start. First, let me explain the left palette. So what is a palette? From the palette, you have to take the components and drag and drop it into your app phone. I will brief you with all the parts and all the categories. First is the user interface. They are used for taking some input from the user or showing some output to the user. For example, you have button, checkbox, circular process, date picker, custom process, image, linear progress bar, notifier, radio button, rating star, spinner, spotlight, switch, text box, time picker and many more. Many of these things are used for taking input, but you can also give output for using circular process, custom process and image. Then we have the layout. In the general layout, we have some layouts which we will normally use. For example, the card view. The grid view is used mainly for calculators, or we have to fit all many things in a single box. Horizontal arrangement is used for adding your things which you take from the palette. Then horizontal scroll arrangement is used for the same process, but it can scroll, so you do not need to fit everything in this single screen. The user can scroll and view all the things. Then we have space. It is just used to create some space between. For example, you want a button 1 and button 2, you can use this to create a space between them. Swipe refresh is like the website refresh we use on the phone. Then we have table arrangement. It's very much same like grid view, but it has one more tile on the upper side. Then we have vertical arrangement, same like horizontal, but it's vertical, and vertical scroll arrangement with vertical arrangement. Then we have lists. List view, list, image and text. So image and text with image and text, and list view only for components. Then navigation, bottom navigation and side menu layout. We have this in many apps. For example, you can take Play Store. In the Play Store, we have this on the top left. View pager and many more things. Then in views, you have bottom sheet, chat view, gallery view, view flipper and web viewer. Now in the media section, you have all the things you can use for your media. For example, audio, images, metadata, QR code, video, sound and many more. You have audio picker, cam recorder, player, metadata, OCR. What is OCR? OCR is used to scan any image, and when you scan the image, it automatically detects the text text which is written on that paper on the image, and converts it into digital text, or the text we write on a WordPad or etc. Then we have sound to play anything. Sound recorder to record, speech recognizer. It is used in many AI projects like Amazon Alexa, Google Home. Then we have text to speech. This is very useful. Then we have video picker, video player, and Yandex Translate. Yandex Translate is a new feature which allows us to translate in the app directly. So we do not need to use Google Translate. Then in drawing and animation we have the things which are mainly used for drawing and for making games. So ball is mainly used for making games. Canvas for a drawing app. I will make a video on how to make a scribbling drawing app using Cordilla. Then you have image editor, where you can do some tweaks to your image sprite, where you can add a sprite to make a game to an image. For example, you make a galaxy game and then you want a plane to shoot some other plane, so there you can take a galaxy image and then use the image sprite. And Lottie, it is used for writing or gliding something. Then on maps, circle, line, string, map, marker, navigation. This is all related to create some maps or some things using Google Maps, etc. Then you have sensors. Sensors are very useful. Accelerometer, barcode scanner, clock, fingerprint, gravity sensor, gyroscope, light sensor, near field, magnetic field sensor, pedometer. Note that these sensors are needed on your physical phone so that we can use it. So in all the phones, basically accelerometer is present, gyroscope is present, light sensor is present in 50% of the phones. The newer phones, light sensor is present for brightness adjusting. Orientation sensor, we do the horizontal orientation when we play YouTube videos or anything. Pedometer for steps counting. Sound sensor is there, and temperature sensor is also there in most of the phones. So you need to check whether your phone has these physical sensors or not, or else this will not work in your phone. Then you have social. For social, you can add your social connections. For the what is that? Emails, contacts, texting, Twitter, and sharing. Sharing is used for sharing your app to anyone on WhatsApp or anything. Then you have storage. Storage is used for keeping something on the cloud. For example, you can use Cloudinary, file. So file is local. Cloudinary is global. Cloudinary is online storage. File is on the phone local storage itself. Then you have Spreadshirt, SQLite, Tiny Database, Tiny Web Database. These are also online web platforms. Then you have utilities. In utilities, you have animation utilities, color utilities, battery utilities, device utilities, key guard manager. Then you have dynamic components. They are just more beautiful than the normal components. Then you have connectivity. Connectivity, you can use Arduino, Bluetooth, download, FTP, network, Wi-Fi. If you want to give your app connection to the online net. Then you have Google. So in Google, you have all the Google features. See, Firebase authentication. Firebase is a big. So what is Firebase? Firebase is same like Cloudinary. It's online database platform made by Google. It's completely free. Then you have Google Account Picker. This can be used if you want to store the data of the user of the app in the online platform on his Google account. So if you use this and the user downloads the app in one phone, save the progress using Google account, and then you can sign in on another phone to use it there also. Then we have Google Maps. You can use it as addition for this map section. Then you have Google Play Games. It's same like Google Account Picker, but if you are making especially a game, then you can use this instead of this. Then you have Google Recaptcha. It is a human verification system. You can see this. It is used in many of the websites for human verification when you create an account or login. Then you have YouTube Player, when you can play your YouTube videos. After that, you have monetization, general advertising. This is for paid. Cordilla creator. Then we have Lego Mindstorms. If you have the Lego Mindstorms kit, you can use this. Then you have extension. You can download external extensions and import them here. Okay. Now we will see the properties interface on the right side. So it shows the basic properties of all the component to select. For example, now no component selected, so the coordinator creator has automatically selected screen 1. So you can see that it shows about screen. You can write this and give it on the screen. Then you have about screen title, so this application you can write it and it will get shown in here. Then you have align horizontal. Align horizontal means all the components you take from the palette and drag and drop, they will get aligned to on the left side. If you have left, if you have center, on center, if you are right, on the right. Then you have vertical. When you drag and drop the components on the palette, you want it to adjust to center, bottom or top. Then you have background image. If you want to give your app and background image, then you can use this. And also if you want to give your background a different color, you can use this. For example, I will use blue and show you. Blue, set. Now you can see that it is blue. Then you have close screen animation. So when the user closes the app, what animation should Cordula show them? Then you have navigation bar color. So if you have the navigation bar here, what should be the color? Then you have open screen animation, same as closed screen animation. When the user opens the app, what animation should Cordula show them? Screen orientation, if you want it full screen, no sensor, portrait, sensor landscape, user or anything. Then you have scrollable option. Make sure to keep this on. Not want the user to get to view this 12 p.m. and Wi-Fi and better symbol, then just turn it off. And if you want the user not to view this 3 dots, then click on this. Make sure to turn on scrollable, because if you add scrollable sensors, then it is needed. Then you have the title. You can see that here it's written screen 1. So for example, I will write here decoders. Now you can see that it is changed to decoders. Then you have title bar font. So you can change the font here. So let me keep Roboto thin. Now you can see that the font is changed. Then you can keep a subtitle, but I will not keep it. And when you go to advanced properties, you can use high quality images, keep screen on even if it is inactive, and title bar typeface. If you want to use a custom font, for example, you can download Comfort Comic Sans from Google Fonts and download them and upload them here. So these were the screen properties. Same properties like this are also in all the components. For example, I will take a button and show you. So to take a component, you just have to drag and drop it here. Okay. To delete a component, you have to click on delete. And to rename a component, click on the component, click on this pencil icon. So I will name is button, normal button. See, the name is changed. Then in the button properties, you have same type properties: font bold, font italic, height, width. Okay, so in height, automatic means the screen automatically decides the height using some AI things. And in the width also you have automatic. Fill parent, the button fills all the things which are in this parent. So what is a parent? So for button 1, the parent is screen 1, because there is no other component in which the button 1 is placed. So for example, if I take a horizontal view and take the button 1 here, then the parent for button 1 is horizontal arrangement. Okay. So now the height, if you keep fill parent, then it will fill its parent. For example, it will fill the horizontal arrangement, and width also it will fill the horizontal arrangement. If there is no horizontal arrangement or if there is no arrangement here, then it will fill the screen. Then you have the shape, just keep a shape, I will keep it oval for example, and text alignment. The properties are pretty much same here. And if you take some other type of special component, for example, if I take sound, then you can see that it's showing me to select a source from the computer or a site, and then you can select the minimum interval here. And it does not have many types of properties like we have on button and screen 1. Then if I take social, and if I get email picker, you can see that it's showing me hint text color. It's pretty much same like button and text box. Then if I choose from drawing an animation a canvas, then it will show the properties of its line width, so what we will draw, and a paint color. So these are the properties which appear on the right side. And this is the external properties bar, which is used for selecting the component which we want for which we want to set the properties. Now to the top bar. The top bar, here you can see the name of your project. I can just change it from here too. So if I keep introduction underscore 1, see, you can change it from here to save project, it shows it. Then you have screen 1. If you create multiple screens, then you can use it. For example, if I add a screen named screen 2, then you can choose the screen which you want from here. Okay, so now I'm screen 2, then you can select screen 1 and again go to screen 2. Then we have copy screen. If you want to duplicate a screen like this, then you can use it. Then you have Google Pixel 3. For example, you click on Google Pixel 3, you can select direct number of smartphones and desktop sizes. So HTC Nexus is a tablet size. Then you have Microsoft Surface, it's desktop size, and these four are phone size. So I recommend to use one of these, and the most I use is Google Pixel 3 because it looks good and its size is just perfect for me. Then you have the file or the account bar, which is above the this bar. Here you can select your project, save a project, make a new project, go to my projects, import AI or export AI. So what is a AI? AI, you cannot use it to install the app, but AI is used for giving your code and your designed app to your friend or anyone. So what does AI do? AI compiles all the blocks code and all the designs and keeps it in a different format, which can be used as I told you, which can be used to send it to your friend. Then you have test. So for test, you can use connect to companion. So you can download a companion on a phone and connect it using the QR code or this code. Then you have connect via USB. For this, you need to download the app, download an app on your PC so that you can use this connect to USB. Then you have export. So finally, when you have completed your app, then you can use Android app.apk to install it on any mobile phones. Then you have help. So if you are facing an issue, you can report it here. You can see the about Cordula here. Then you can see the release note, what's new, show companion information, so splash screen, show keyboard shortcuts. Then you have here my project. So if when you click on it, you get to this screen. Let me click on this again. Okay, so it's again roll it. Then we have then I will just close this from here, and I will also close this from here. Then you have this community section. If you click here, you go on Cordula community. See, if you need help, you can create a topic on here and get help from the large number of Cordula creators which are online every time. Then you have the docs, where you get the basic information of Cordula. Then you have your donate. If you want to donate something to Cordula, you can use this. Then you have account section. Here, when you create an account, you can get all the things related to your account. So when I click on this my account, I get here. So it shows me my avatar, then my profile settings. If I want to change, I can change my name, password, email, etc, etc. In the projects, you can see all your projects. See, introduction one last dated 3 minutes ago. Then you have community status and support, that is same I showed you before. Payments, if you pay, if you get the paid Cordula, you can see your payments here. Then you have sign up. If you want to sign up from your account, you can use this. And then you have preferences is for the thing which the appearance and the properties thing which you see. For example, it shows me use percentage values by default in data section. So if I want the Cordula app to use the percentage value of adjusting the height and width for default, then I can turn this option on. And if you want to use the experimental components which are in beta, for example beta components, then you can turn this option on. But I recommend not to turn this on, as if they give an issue, your app will not work. Then you have custom colors as project colors. When we on the start of the video, we set the color of the app, accent color, primary color. For that, you can change. If you do not want that option, you can turn it off from here. Then you have keystroke. Then you have languages. If you want to change your language, you can use it. In appearance, I have set the night theme. If you want a light theme, you can select this night from here and bliss from here. I personally love the dark theme everywhere, and if you want to just keep it compact and small, then you can use this. And enable performance mode is used, for example, it uses hardware acceleration of your PC, so the Codilla website can run faster. And you have info. See, from here you can download a companion using scanning the code, or just get the Google Play Store link. And here you can also see that the open source font Robotov, it's made from Google. Then you have when just form, all the things are written here, the information. So that's it for today's video, guys, and in the next video I will show you how to make your Ubuntu desktop look like Windows 10. So subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell and stay tuned. Goodbye.